Welcome back to another episode of Middle-Aged Mamas. The gang is here. Got Dawn, Camila, and Nakia, and we're back to chat it up with you guys. So, it's been a minute since we've done highs and lows. Mm-hmm. So, what you guys got?
I feel very low in this chair.
Why? You do look dwarfy. Why?
I know. I just have.
It's because you're so skinny now. Your booty don't have no.
Oh my!
No cushion.
My booty cushion. That's my low. My high is that it's my birthday this week.
Oh yeah.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
51.
One time for the birthday, girl.
51.
Now the crazy thing is it does feel like you just turned 50. Like, how is it a year already?
I know that we were like recording with a cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
It has been
50. Now you're
a year.
51. That's outrageous.
Wait a minute.
It has been a year that
was
we have
a
been
long time ago.
at this.
What do you mean? It felt recent. What are you talking about?
Wait a
long time
minute.
ago?
When we presented that cake to her
Yes, that was a long. It felt quick. That's what we're saying.
at the house.
Yes.
Yes.
That felt like
A year.
long time ago.
So it
been
felt
a
long
year.
to you, but short
Yes.
It's
It felt
been-
like forever.
It's been
That's
a
funny.
year.
Because so much has happened.
I know.
Oh my God, that does feel like
But
a
I
long
feel
time.
so good.
You look good.
Thank you. I feel good.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I'm not doing much, but
Your birthday plans?
yeah. My husband made some plans, and typically we go out to dinner as a family like on that night of. And my birthday's on a Friday night.
Fun.
And so my husband has something planned for me. I'm not sure what.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just excited. That's definitely my high. I'm sitting in a low chair feeling like a shorty.
Oh, I think it's the last episode you're in a higher chair. That's why.
Maybe that's what it is. And I'm so little in this big chair. That's my high. It's my birthday week.
So now that you're 51,
I'm not 51 yet.
Well,
Mama.
you'll be when this airs. You'll be 51. But
yes.
approaching 50, you were excited. So as you go further into your 50s, it's the same feeling. It's not like, oh, I'm getting older.
Yeah, no. I think I feel even better this time.
Uh-huh.
Just because, like you said, so much has happened
Right.
in this year. Like, so much to make me appreciate not even every year, but every single day.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just think about the things that I would say I'm going to put this off and do tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
That if I can do it today, I'm going to do it today.
Mm-hmm.
Because life is so unpredictable.
Yeah.
So unpredictable.
Right.
And I'm certainly here this year with a renewed sense of gratitude for life, for health, for family,
Right.
For love.
All the important things.
All of those things, and even some grudges that I had, even some things that I was holding on to that are not worth it, that I have been praying to God specifically to soften my heart towards certain people.
I like to soften it.
Yes, like, because sometimes you need God's help. Like, you can't do it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to turn it over to the Lord, I am certainly going into this season of my life with a renewed sense of gratitude, and I just feel good to be in good health and right state of mind, and
Right.
with my family, just all the little things that we take for granted. I want to make sure I am appreciating,
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
I love your high.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love it.
What about a menopause
Thank
check?
you.
Where are we with that?
Woo!
Is it still Perry for 51?
It is still Perry. And you
Okay.
know what's so funny? I felt like the beginning of us doing this podcast, it seemed like every episode I was like, "Ooh, my period didn't start this
you
day."
were.
And then I was like,
You
all
told
the
yourself you were
time.
gonna
I
stop
was
and
talking
you
about,
stopped.
I was talking about my period like every time.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm gonna stop talking about my period. But April, I didn't. Has April come? April's still here.
Yeah.
March, I didn't have a cycle. But I'm feeling a little something coming on.
Oh.
And I've been eating a lot of, like, I just had some of your
Chocolate,
seeds
sweets.
candy. Yeah, I've been eating candy. I've been having snacks and different things.
Right.
Those cravings are coming. So I'm still in the same situation.
Perry seems to last longer than the
Perry-
actual menopause.
I know. I've been going through perimenopause for 10. This is going into my 11th year since.
That sounds crazy.
Since
Well, then my menopause
is
is
how long
long
it's
I'm not
supposed
even
to
in
last?
Perry.
it everybody's different.
Yeah.
Everybody's different. But when I was 40 was when my doctor actually, when I went in like something is going on with me, like with the mood swings. That was when I was 40. So it's still going.
I'm not in Perry. Are you in Perry, Camila?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Okay, what's your high, low? Low, high.
Okay. So a high for me is that, so since my cousin moved out of my house and we have an extra room, I've moved my dog out of the living room into a separate room, so I have like my space back in the living room. My low is that the dog, when we have been putting him outside, has chewed up everything in sight. He chewed up.
Your garden?
Outside?
He chewed up the sprinkler system.
Oh,
It
What?
no longer
Was he a
works.
gopher?
Oh,
Well, he's
damn.
not digging up the sprinklers itself, the box and the
Oh.
wires. He's eating them
What?
Where is it?
on the side of the house.
Yeah,
he can
down
reach
low, like by where you turn
Oh.
on.
He's starting to
man.
gnaw on the wires for the air conditioner and the heat.
Oh, no.
He's tearing my yard up. He's digging holes everywhere. Just
Oh
How long is he out there for when he does it?
he don't have to be out there a lot of time at all.
Oh, really?
But see, and so I'm back to the space where I thought I was a dog lover.
Uh-oh,
So-
here we go. Here we go. Oh, no. You better not. You cannot.
Don't-
Cannot be
don't-
number 3.
Don't give him up.
No.
Give him
But-
up. Turn him loose.
I'm gonna just table that.
You can't like put
No, you didn't.
like put a box. You know we've been singing. You can't put a box like.
I mean, I can.
It's just the effort. It's more of a nuisance than a pleasure. Is
But
what I'm
and
getting.
so and so the damage is done. I mean,
Yeah.
it can be fixed.
Yeah.
But it's still whole. He ate my lemon. He ate the lemon tree.
No.
He ate the lemon tree.
Ate.
What do you mean? The trunk of the tree?
It was a tree sticking, growing up out of the yard, the ground.
Yeah.
It had lemons on it. It had leaves on it. It was a viable tree. In 2 days, I saw the top gone and then the whole thing in the garden.
Was it a new tree? A freshly planted tree or something?
No, it had been there about a year.
What?
And he ate.
Maybe he needs more exercise. Is he going on long
I
walks?
take him on walks all the time.
Well, what
He can't
does
be
the
outside
trainer
with a
say?
leash.
The dog
oh yeah,
whisperer.
the dog whisperer.
You need to call her and tell her
Tell her what? The dog's eating her?
That
to
he
help
needs
you
some- yeah.
control that behavior.
He needs some training.
I'm not spending no more money on
Ooh.
training that dog.
Here
It
we
was
go.
expensive.
Here we
Uh
go.
oh.
Camila has a limit with dogs, and when she reaches
That's-
that
that's-
limit,
That's my.
Uh-oh.
she is
Because that's
cutthroat.
expensive. That's expensive, and I'm
Uh-oh.
tired of it. And on top of the fact, I do most of the work.
I might need a
Again.
dog for my birthday.
You don't want a dog that's gonna tear stuff up. That's a problem.
I already have a cat that likes to tear stuff up.
Not a yard though. He pulled down the whole lemon tree. Oh my gosh, listeners, if you have any suggestions for Camila and her dog problems, she's
I
on
came
the
outside.
edge.
I was like, my trees. It was lemons on there.
How long had he been out? How long does he go outside at a time?
Well, I just recently started leaving him out there for a longer period.
So like an hour, 2 hours?
Yes, just because it's been warm.
Right.
Aside from the days when it rains, but yeah, it doesn't take him any time. It's like he gallops outside, he's sniffing around, and next thing I know, it's like leaves and stuff. He brings it back to the back door on the porch, and I'm like, where's he?
Well, maybe just don't put him out there for an extended period of time. Just do walks and let him be in the house.
Or can you tie his leash up so he has limited access to where he can go?
I really don't have anywhere to tie him.
Oh.
To be honest, there's no post. There's not really a gate.
And I don't think dogs like to be tied up.
But not like where he could be free to like move, but have
Like country dog.
limited.
Or like a long leash.
Yeah,
I don't.
a long.
It's not. I can't do that because I don't have the fencing. I don't have the capabilities for that.
Okay.
In the yard.
Oh.
I think you need to call the lady and just have a phone consultation. She'll give you some tips. And that will be good.
Or Google.
YouTube.
What does Dean say? What does Dean say?
It's like, well, we don't give away another dog,
Well,
please.
Low-key be trying to make him complain about the dog too.
Stop.
You be trying to get him on your side.
Yeah. So he can be like, yeah, we need to just. Because he was like, because yeah, he be jumping up and biting my ear off.
Oh
He
no!
biting my ear. I was like, I know.
It's
What
just
we
a
gonna
little
do?
love bite.
Is he still, he's still a puppy though? How big is he now?
He's big, but it's a couple of things that
He's
I
just
have
a
an issue
baby.
it's a couple of things I have an issue
Aw.
regarding the dog. But again, I always have to revisit my love for animals when things like this happen, and I always come back to the conclusion that I'm not really an animal lover.
Well, that's a hard breed too. I mean,
What
they're
is
not
it?
And
easy. A King Corso.
Yeah.
They're big.
Oh.
But see, that's another issue. I don't even want to go into that. But growing up with dogs, none of my dogs ever did that. None of them. That's my high and low. Move on.
Hopefully the next episode she'll still have his dog. She'll still have Mac. You guys go support Camila on her Instagram page and give back some love. Comment under Mac's picture. Please save them. Oh, so funny.
Life is full of swift changes.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Lord.
Uh-oh.
That's all I'll say
Oh,
about that.
God.
Swift.
We'll adopt him. We can bring another
Maybe
crazy
we
dog
can
in our
share
house.
him.
You want to co-parent?
Co-parenting.
Does your dog eat stuff up?
No.
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah,
I need a dog in my life.
Okay, so recently I saw a high school friend that I haven't seen in so long, and it's so nice when you could just pick up where you left off with those kind of friends. You know how as moms you make new friends and you don't have the old stuff in common, although if you have women over 40, you always reach back to the 80s because those were like the glory days. Everybody can relate to pre-cell phone, waiting for the bus. Like we all have the same stories.
Landlines.
Yeah, landline, stringing your
Yes.
phone all the way through the house.
Oh.
Like
When you sit and think
Man.
about it, you think about all the technology that we have lived through.
Wow.
The landline,
Right.
the coming of the cell phone.
Pre-microwave.
Yes,
oh my gosh,
all of
my
that, all
mother
of that.
screamed to the top of her lungs when she walked in our house and saw our first microwave. I was like, what happened? You would have thought we won the lottery. She was jumping up and down. She was so excited.
Wow.
And it was this big old television sitting on the counter.
Because they
I
were
was like, what is that?
They were
Yeah.
huge at the beginning.
Flat screen TVs,
Yeah.
just everything. So much has changed in
Yeah.
our lifetimes.
I think that there were just huge leaps from when we were kids because we had, the MapQuest and like all that stuff. And now it's so far. There were nothing like that prior to when we were kids.
We were riding around with the Thomas guide.
Yeah.
Remember that?
No, I didn't. I never used one,
My
but I
mother
remember one.
was religious.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to find
With
somewhere
that
to go
map
with
in
that
the
big
car.
old map in the car.
Yeah.
Thomas guide.
Yeah. The other day, Abby was
My
like,
phone
"How did you
book.
guys go around with pieces of paper?" You were like pirates looking for your destination.
Listen.
So we used to print, and we thought that was like huge
Yeah.
technology that we could have our directions and our paper in
Right.
our car. My aunt still uses MapQuest, by the way.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
even MapQuest was new. Like
Yeah,
before that,
yeah.
you had like the book,
Yeah.
like the
yeah.
big book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When me and my brother drove here from Atlanta, I printed out the directions from my house in Atlanta to here. I still have the paper. With all the
Aw.
different- Yeah, I saved it because
It's just a 10 all the way, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I've done it.
You're
Like,
like,
I need
actually, you don't
directions
even
for
need the map.
I needed directions for that, but no, we took different route, because we went through different states.
That's
Oh, I got
hysterical.
the 10 from Atlanta to Santa Monica.
I've done the drive.
There's a couple of
couple
freeways
times.
in
Yeah,
between, right?
yeah.
Is it literally just the 10?
It is.
No, it's not. Well, the 10 it changes, and depending on what state you go through.
You just stay on the
You
10.
know. No, if you go through different states, it
It's-
changes
Got
because
it.
you can go up and then you can come back down.
Yeah.
You know, so it
I haven't
depends.
taken
But the main highway, like she said, it does. The 10 goes. It turns into like the 20.
Oh, and
turns
then back
into
to the 10. Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Do you guys keep up with your friends from high school?
I do.
I do. I have like Selena
Mhm.
is my girlfriend from high school. But I recently and unfortunately, like the last 6 months, I've gone to 3 funerals from childhood friends, either
Mhm.
their mothers or actually themselves. From when I first moved to LA and I was on this street, it was this community where, like in the 80s, and I think this was probably even still the 70s, when it was that time when everybody's mama was everybody's,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
your mama could tell you and this person,
Mm-hmm.
and so I have these friends that I've known since I was 5, and we don't get together often, and usually it's because of something sad has happened that brings us back together, but it just reminds me of a time that sometimes I think, most times I think, was pretty depressing.
Mm-hmm.
But when I get together with these people and we're able to share all the funny stories and the crazy stories,
Yeah.
things that I totally forgot,
Right.
and to be able to reminisce, it makes me think like, oh no, there were some parts of my childhood that I have very fond memories of. And so yeah, we talked about doing a better job of
Keep it
staying in touch, and not just for when something sad happens.
Right.
But it was so cool. It was so cool because there were 5 of us,
Mm-hmm.
children, and my maiden name is White, and so we were the white kids. That alone, right?
That is so funny,
Yes.
the white kids.
We were the white kids, but we're black.
That's funny.
And
I wonder
so,
where that comes from. What plantation or what?
girl, okay?
That's,
so-
that's nervy.
And so I was telling my dad today when I was on my way over here, because I sent him a picture of some of the friends, and I said, do you recognize these kids? And I'm saying kids when everybody in the picture is like 50 plus.
Right.
And so then I called him to say, this is
They're
such
still
and such,
kids to
this is
him.
such and such.
Yeah.
Right. And they were kids the last time he saw them. And so he was saying the same thing, like, oh, I'm so happy that you kept up with them.
Yeah.
And I said, yes, I was there representing for the white kids.
That is so funny.
And so I always think, like, I'm going up to somebody that I haven't seen in 40 years saying, I'm Dawn. You remember me? Like
Right.
the white kids?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's so
and then somebody
funny.
might say, y'all was bad as hell.
were you a crybaby, Dawn?
I was not a crybaby.
I feel like I was a crybaby. I think I was a crybaby.
I was not a crybaby at all. But what I was that my mom reminded me of recently was that I was a major tattletale. I was.
You were like deep from what's happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would tattle before. I just wanted to get it out there. Like, you don't even have to ask. You're going to walk in the door and I'm going to give you blow by blow. Like, I need you to know I didn't do it, but I'm going to tell you who did.
Maybe that was what was behind it.
Yeah.
I didn't do it, but let me tell you.
Because back in the day, all the kids would get in trouble.
Everybody.
Line them all up. You're all in trouble.
That is exactly what I
Yeah.
was telling my dad.
Yeah.
Because my friends started saying, I remember when your brother caught the apartment on fire and the whole neighborhood was chasing him. I was like,
Oh my God.
yeah, I remember. And he was trying to run away because he knew he was going to get in trouble. But then all of us tried to run away. We ran away just downstairs. We were in an apartment and we were on the second floor. We ran away to the neighbor downstairs. Like,
you didn't even run away from the fire. You were still in danger.
we were like beyond that.
Wait a minute, y'all ran from the fire and then the fire kept burning?
No, the fire. So this was, I don't know if it was the 80s yet or late 70s. And it was those wicker baskets and it had like those feather thingies in it. So my brother lit one of them and was probably playing like he was smoking.
Yeah.
And then it caught fire like really big and fast. Right. So then he dropped it and it fell on the carpet. Then the carpet caught fire.
Oh,
then he was trying to stomp it out and then it was making just this huge hole in the carpet. And then the smoke detector is going off and all the neighbors are knocking on the door trying to make sure that we're okay. And we're scared to open the door. So then finally,
and they're inhaling smoke.
Yeah. And finally my brother just like took off and the whole neighborhood the whole neighborhood is chasing him to like the Woolworth. This is how long ago it was. To the Woolworth shopping center in West LA.
That is hysterical.
Woolworth, and they ended up finding him like under a car. But they're telling the story. He was hiding. He went under a car because the whole neighborhood was chasing him. And so what I was telling my dad today, because I was like, do you remember this? And I'm thinking, no, because you was probably running around cheating on my mama. Because he's like, I don't remember that. I'm like, I wonder why. But
that's why y'all was home alone.
That's what we was home alone. We was unsupervised.
Well, the 80s, we were all unsupervised.
We
could come in the house, cook a meal, lock the door.
All kind of shiznit.
Yeah.
So we ran away downstairs and then... Because my brother was not one of those big brothers.
How old was he?
He's 2 years older than me. So this was probably, we lived in that apartment from like, I was in kindergarten up till third grade. So it was somewhere in between there, 5 to 8 years old. So my brother was, 7 to 11.
He was the oldest?
He was the oldest.
And
so
you guys are home alone?
We were home alone. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And at that time, there was probably only 3 of us at that time. There ended up being 5. There were probably only 3 of us at that time.
Yeah.
But my brother, when, like you said, if one person, like everybody's getting lined up. Mm-hmm. And so he's thinking like, well, I'm going to get a spanking anyway. So I'm not about to save these little fools.
Save myself.
Yeah, he wouldn't.
Right.
And so that's why we were like, well, we might as well run away too. Because we
Did you all go together?
We did. Like, once the neighborhood kids,
place to hide.
Yeah. Once the neighborhood kids brought him back, then we were like, we all gotta go, and that's when the 3 of us ran away to the neighbor underneath us. And when my mom got home, I think she was just so like over us just with all the shenanigans.
Yeah.
I'm sure she was embarrassed because the whole neighborhood was talking
Right.
about it.
But the crazy thing is that kids left unsupervised are gonna
Get into
crazy
some
stuff, and then we used to get in trouble.
And then we would get in trouble.
Like,
like,
what you think? Remember the candy cigarettes?
Yes.
And
Yes.
you go
You can
and
really
pretend
blow
like
smoke.
you're smoking.
yes, absolutely. Do you remember? And this was also Woolworth. Do you remember? Where's the beef?
Yeah.
The
That
commercial?
gum. It was a commercial, but it was like a burger, like gum. It was.
No, I don't remember
It
that.
had like all these
Right.
layers. It was like.
Now I know they have that now, but it's like a gummy, like jelly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was similar to that.
Okay.
So back then, and like speaking of jellies, I had of course the jelly shoes. But
Running down the street.
Oh no.
In your jellies.
No. This was I just had them in
Oh.
general. But remember the clear bags?
Yeah, and match
Okay.
your jelly shoes.
Yes. So I had the clear bag, and I was in Woolworth shoplifting
What?
the Where's the Beef again.
Gum?
Yes, the
That's
little
so
candy.
funny.
So what I did was the side of my clear bag, right?
It was
You
all
can see
exposed.
All
Everything.
see through.
She's
I
taking
had
it slow.
lined them up
Stealing everything in a
on
clear
the
bag.
side of the bag, a clear bag.
Who steals in a clear
And
bag?
Yes, a naughty little girl.
Look what I got, y'all.
A naughty little girl.
You're like, you dummy.
Literally is probably so
That's
security is like, excuse me. And I said, I'm literally clutching my pearls even back then. I was in first
You're
or
like,
second
"Me?"
grade. I did. And he said, you need to pay for those. I said, for what? What are you referring to? And he said,
Oh, I came in here with
the
this.
candy, the gum.
In
And
your
then-
clear bag.
and that I can see right there in your bag. I said, do you think you're the only store in town that sells these? I got these
You was
from,
a flim flammer.
oh my
Flim-flam.
goodness. I got these from Joe's Market on the corner by my school on my way.
And
That
did they let
guy-
you go?
Absolutely.
He believed
Yeah,
you.
yes. Because he's like,
And
this.
see, you didn't learn right
this
then and there. Then you
little
start
girl-
stealing more, huh?
No, I didn't. I did
Oh.
after that. I was scared. But he's probably looking like this little girl is making me look like an idiot
She has
because
the gift of
I'm
gab.
sitting there, right?
Oh, you charmed him.
I was able to talk my way out of most
Out of Woolworths.
anything, and then I had the nerve to say when I left, I was like, "This idiot." Had he really looked, he would have seen that the price tag on it said Woolworths. So yeah, I was
That's
getting
so funny.
in when my friends were saying y'all were some badass kids. It just reminded me of
Yeah.
like all of that stuff because I sit back, especially as a parent now, and I say like, what are these kids like? What are they doing? Like I'm acting all embarrassed, and my parents will be looking like,
I know you ain't
Do
talking.
you remember?
My dad will always say, "Oh, you don't remember," or my mom would be like, "You were my most manipulative child," you know. And so
She knew.
when when people start reminding me, like they were telling me stuff that I don't even remember.
That just makes you laugh, though, right?
It makes me laugh now, and it also when my kids start pulling their stuff,
You're
I'm
like,
just sitting
you
like,
ain't got
you
nothing.
gotta come better than that, because you ain't got nothing on me.
Yeah.
Like this is nothing, but it makes me just appreciate all of the shenanigans. I think it's funny, and it just kind of puts me in check of no, you were not, this sweet, easy kid that you try to make yourself out to be. And it helps with my parenting because it reminds me of kids are gonna just be kids,
Mhm.
but back to like the friendships, it's nice to reconnect with those friends that knew you before,
Yeah.
before all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And
so true.
and that you can laugh with and that you can reminisce. And there was nothing ugly you know,
Right.
because everybody was bad. Like
Yeah.
that whole street, like
Right.
everybody was bad.
Right.
But we were just being kids.
Yeah.
And no one was like hurting anybody
Right. And you have to allow room for that.
Yes. Yes. So I just think about this new generation of technology and not being able to interact with their friends the way that we were able to,
Yeah.
and really still have those friendships,
Right.
and learn how to, not how to manipulate, but learn how to express yourself
Yeah.
and be there and be supportive of,
Right.
of one another, because this is like 45 years of friendship.
Yeah, and it's important.
It's so
and I
important.
think that you can still do that. People
Yeah.
are constantly saying, "Oh, we can't because this
You
generation is
can't.
different." It's different. It is different.
What, you can't have lifelong friendships.
No,
like
that you
that?
can't teach your kids to enjoy friendships and to connect with people
Yeah.
in real life. You know, I tell them, pick up a phone, check on your friend,
Right.
appreciate the good friends that you have. You know, it's an important thing, and I don't think that just because there's social media and all this stuff that means just to hell with it and they just
Right.
an island by themselves, because that doesn't help.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want them to have lifelong friendships because. You know, they look back, like even with Landon, you know, they've known each other since they were babies, and you guys have moved away and have visited,
Stayed
but
in
they've
touch.
stayed, and now they're friends on their own. They're not friends because we're friends.
Right.
They truly
Right.
enjoy each other's company, and they
Yeah.
get each other,
Yeah.
and it's not just on the phone. You know,
Right.
it's real
Right.
life, real connections. Even with my daughter, you know how girls are. So, you know, it's up and down, but I say, you know, pick the ones that are true and aren't fake and will show up for you and you show up for them. You know,
Right.
it can't just be one way.
Right.
And,
right.
you know, they're on social media, but not to the point where it's all day, every day. That's what they look forward to. And I think that also when you have taught your kids at an early age how to play and how to be outside and how to just be in the world without their phones, eventually
Yeah.
when they do have a phone and they start being on it, they get bored of it faster than if they've never experienced those things. So
yeah, that
it's not a lost
in-person.
art, real connection. It really
Right.
isn't.
Right.
And we gotta just keep pushing it. Even though sometimes I get on their nerves with it, but you know, they appreciate it.
Yeah, and you need to know how to communicate,
Yeah.
to actually speak to someone and look them in their eye and not mumble and
Yeah.
not put your head down.
Yeah,
and-
speak to people in a room. Like, you know, you can tell your kid, did you speak? You know, you have to instill those things in them because once they leave,
yeah.
you know, you're done. And it was nice. My boys, you know, they just came back from their trip from DC. And the whole time prior to them going, you know, well, we've talked to them since they were little about their behavior when they're away from us and all that stuff. But, you know, Grand Christian at night, they can be rambunctious. Like, they're boys. They, you know, they get in their own world. I've always talked about how raising twins is like interrupting a party because they're just constantly, they feed off of each other. So I was like, at night, you guys can't be wrestling in the hotel room. Like, I don't want any calls talking about they had to knock on the door and all that stuff. So we just kept pressing that. You know, this is the time to show that you can have an experience like this. So when they went on the retreat, it went well. They were like, Mom, remember on the retreat, you know, it went well? And I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. So anyway, they came back. I go in the airport. I couldn't leave the airport without 3 parents coming up to me saying, your boys were so helpful on this trip, so mature, so put together. We loved having them. And I was like, all right, okay.
Do they separate them? Because I know sometimes with siblings, especially with twins, like in school, they'll try to separate them and not let them have the same classes.
Yeah, I've always pushed that. I've always wanted them to be separate. But this year, because of football, they had to be together. But on this trip, they were together, which I preferred because...
so they roomed together.
Yeah, they were going to room together no matter what. But they also had 2 other boys in the room with them. And Christian was texting me like, oh, it's like taking care of 6-year-olds.
Oh my God.
It's like... Yeah, so I was like, oh, they're on this trip. They were the mature ones. In our house, you know, they're different. But we always say at home, you know, you're free to be who you are. We'll correct that. But when you're outside of our house, you better act right. Yeah. So, and then the head of school went on the trip. He was like, some of the kids are acting like the head of school wasn't on the trip.
Oh, wow. That's what the kids said?
That's what Grant and Christian were saying because they are aware of their reputation and how it's important.
And their surroundings.
Yeah.
And
So-
who's being the adults?
Exactly. So it went well. I mean, kids are going to be kids, but that was one that I wasn't sure which way it was going to go because 7 days with no, hey, knock it off from me. And then we didn't even hear from them half the trip. You know, they were in their own world. They thought they were grown off to college.
They sent me a picture. They sent Dean
They
a
did?
picture. Yeah, they sent Dean a picture just
Oh,
because they were in
really?
Philadelphia. Yes.
Oh,
they sent me a
okay.
picture from something in Philadelphia.
We didn't get not a one.
Yeah.
And then when we pressed them
So
for
it's not
pictures.
me. They sent it to Dean.
Yeah, their cousin. But when we finally did get pictures, they were like not in it. Like it was completely different. Guy
Coming
and
from
Abby.
the staff.
Yeah, Guy and Abby went the year before, and it was
Yeah.
like we went on the trip with them every day. We got pictures. They
Aw.
called us. They told us about the trip every single day. These two.
They're like later for you.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's like
So
a reflection
different.
of how you parented them
Mm-hmm.
versus the first set of twins versus the second, where you more hands off.
No, because they were all pretty much like quadruplets.
Oh, that's true.
So Guy and Abby refer to them like us. It's never been a. They don't remember when they weren't here. It's always been the four of them. So I don't think it's that. I think it's their personalities.
The personality.
And
yeah.
when we were coming home from dropping them off, I was telling William, I was like, we've raised them to be independent. Like that's what we want. It's just tricky when it shows
When
up.
it happens.
Yeah, when it shows
When it
up and you're
happens.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but there was a small little thing that happened that Christian did call me and it was like, how do I handle this? So I was like, they called Mama when they need them.
Yeah.
But you want them to be independent.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
always sweet. When they,
Yeah.
When they're on trip.
I want Dean to go on that same trip when he gets to 8th grade. I'm
Yeah.
nervous about it even right now. My son is he's like rambunctious.
Yeah.
Like, just like,
Yeah.
But they need those little things to get
Mhm.
ready to be an adult. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, smiling here, smiling, you know, you
Yeah.
build it up. And even for a kid that's not rambunctious or who might be shy and like, you know, they're never going to get out in the world, they need the little steps to prepare them for
Right.
adulthood. You can't just throw everything at them at once. So,
Right. Oh, that's sweet.
yeah.
But getting back to the friendship, what about you? Do you have?
I do. I was
a large
thinking-
group of your
I went to a
friends?
Spanish immersion school for elementary school. So I was laughing earlier. I was like, I don't think I even realized I was black till I was in 6th grade.
Are you kidding?
No, because I was so immersed in Spanish culture. I spoke Spanish. We celebrate all the Spanish holidays,
What did you meet?
the
Marina?
entire history in junior high.
Okay.
All the history, like, I didn't learn about Frederick Douglass. I learned about, like, Eli Whitney, Inventor la Dismotadora. So it was like,
Okay.
yeah, it was completely different. So I never,
Ah.
I knew I was black, obviously, but I didn't have black friends until I was in junior high.
Interesting.
Yeah, and those became my friends forever. I still, like my best friend, Haley Himmler, I remember her, but we don't keep up other than Facebook. But
Right.
my friends I met in junior high, and I still keep up with them.
My friends came from church, and we also actually went to school together.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we've been lifelong friends since from church. Like I've known most of them since I was like 5 years old. Like a large circle of friends. So
Yeah.
it's been a long time. And then some of my high school friends, I haven't known them since like 5 years old, but I still keep in contact with my high school friends. We have a pretty large friend group.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a two-way street. You know, you have to reach out. You can't just wait
Yeah.
for an invitation. You have to
Yeah.
reach out.
But one thing is not a part of my friend group is well, I take that back. So my church friends, it's a mixture of men and women, boys and girls. But my high school friends is just girls. Do you guys have boys in your friend group?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Or men?
Childhood friends. I had a ton of church friends that I'm only in touch with a few, but high school, like we had a group that boys and girls, and also college. And actually today, my husband's roommate from when we met 30 years ago came by to visit. And he lives in Texas now, but he was in town for the weekend, and he came by to visit. And it was just like we had just seen him. And I was telling him that I now work right near where their old townhouse used to be, and that I drive by there all the time. And so I have different groups of friends. I have, since I've been with my husband for so long, like we have mutual friends, and then he has his own friends that have become my friends, and I have friends that have become his friends, but we still have separate friends too that we still haven't met. But I think about when you're having trials and difficulty in your life, and it doesn't matter how long it's been that you've been in touch with that person, you know who your true friends are, because they will rally around you and show so much love and support, and that's what I have to remember, that it's not about the day-to-day of hey, but when you really need somebody, and you don't even think, like when I was seeing these friends that I haven't seen in 40 years, and I'm thinking, oh, they're probably not even going to remember me. I'm just, and they see you and they hug you and start crying, and that's, I want to be that friend, and because I know when I need my friends, I need my friends. I especially need my praying friends. You know, when something is going on, that at this stage in my life, I'm not looking for, and I saw a quote like recently, like at this stage in my life as a middle-aged mom, I'm not looking for like friends to gossip with.
Yeah.
You know,
So
I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for friends that I know, these are my prayer warriors. If something's going down, this is who I can reach out to, or these are the ones that are going to provide just that positivity and uplift me, as opposed to I just need to talk shit to somebody. You know, I'm all of those things are just kind of shifting. And that was one thing that a friend mentioned this weekend, was that when a certain friend comes by, they always talk about just all the ugly stuff, and it brings everybody down. And that's not what I'm looking for. You know, I certainly, I don't forget, you know, bad stuff that happened, but that can't be all you bring to the table.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that you can't be the bad news bear. We're not looking for you when it's time. When it's time to connect, we're not looking for, you know, the bad news bear. And so that part is important to me, of knowing who do I keep around, because they fill me up with positivity and love, as opposed to just, oh, you were such a little bitch, you know. I don't want to hear that. You know, I don't want to hear that. And so that's good, with having old friends that you can rely on and depend on when life throws you a curveball that you never imagined would happen at a certain point in your life.
Why am I thinking of the Dionne Warwick song? Keep rising,
Yes.
keep shining.
That's
No,
what
you
friends
can
are.
always count on me. 80s,
Yes.
for sure.
Mhm.
That's, Camila, you sing. That's what
That's
friends
what friends are
are for good times and bad times. I'll be on. Camila, sing. Camila, you can actually sing. Why are you making us sing that? That's for
That's
whoa,
what
keep shining. Keep shining. Whoa, who was
Right,
that?
who came in with that?
I didn't give away if he could sing.
For sure.
For sure.
That
That's
You
was
love
what
this,
friends
say
are.
Who was that? Who was that? Oh, that was
Who sang it
Gladys.
now?
Keep
Record deal.
shining.
Record deal.
Keep shining.
No, you can
always
always
count me. For sure.
Mm.
That was a jam back in the day.
Don't act like we embarrassing you.
The 80s was a
You
best.
better get
What about
in
We Are the
on
World?
it. Oh, have
You
you
see that
seen the
documentary? that was so good. Yeah,
I
the 80 pop stars. Oh, it was so good. I wanted to cry.
Ooh, I'm gonna finish it.
I'm obsessed with We Are the World, first of all.
Because
it reminds me of being like in the third grade.
The night
that they pulled
recorded
it off.
Like all the celebrities.
Yeah, because
Lionel,
because they had to get everybody. They did it around an award show. I think it was the American Music Awards, and they pulled they made all these calls. Lionel Richie wrote the song. He pulled in Michael Jackson to do some of it writing, and then
Quincy Jones.
He produced it.
Yes.
Yeah, and so they pulled all the celebrities together to record that night, and they tried to get Prince and by using Sheila E. They called Sheila E. and was like, "Can you come?" Hoping that they can get Prince on, and Prince was like, it's way too many people over there. I'm not coming. So she ended up not being on the song. She left, but all those people. I think Huey Lewis, his part was supposed to go to Prince, so they threw him in at the last second. He was like so nervous,
and they said you can't bring anybody. Like,
yeah,
you can't,
it's
just
VIP.
You.
They were there all night. They worked out their parts. Cyndi Lauper did her part.
Ooh.
That run that she did.
Huey Lewis.
Yeah, that was just in the moment that she did that. I can't remember her part. Wait,
I started.
Wait, hold on.
Come on, bring it out. Bring it out.
There comes the time.
That's not Cyndi Lauper.
When you need a certain
She's just bringing it up. She's recalling.
Wait. Oh, what was her part?
Oh, is that Michael Jackson?
No, his is. His is the part.
What is that?
The greatest gift of all. Wait.
I thought you
what
were
is
about
Michael
to say
Jackson's
the
part?
greatest love.
That was another 80s jam. I
Come on
believe
now.
the children are.
You're not ready for this.
Come on,
You're
y'all.
not ready for
These 80s jams are the best.
Woo! No, they were.
Teach them when to solo. Camila, you can actually sing it.
Yeah, but
and let
my
them
choir,
lead the way.
When we were younger.
Show them all the
we sang that song.
left and side.
We sang no. I'm not gonna sing. When we sang "We Are the World," and Leah, who we interviewed, she sang Cyndi Lauper's part.
Wait, what was the part? Hold on, let me think.
Come on, bring it
I
down.
know it in my head. Wait, hold on.
And me and my friend Kidada, I can't remember. I think we sang the Huey Lewis.
Every time she says Kidada, I go
that part of the song.
Whenever she says Kidada, I'm always thinking Quincy Jones' daughter. I forget it's somebody different.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, so I used to know how to sing. Did I tell you guys that?
No.
I used to know how to sing, but if you don't use
your gift, you lose it.
If you don't use it, you lose it. So again, when I say that I was shy, I didn't get a chance to like fully use my gift. And my mom used to be so upset with me that I wouldn't I would be in church in the choir and just sitting there, mama, and she would be in the like telling, open your mouth. Da, da, da. She had gotten so upset with me once because I would sing at home. I would sing in the shower. I would sing in my bedroom to the point where she silenced me at home. She said, if you don't sing in church, you cannot sing in the house.
It was, wow, we all the word.
Yes.
That's what it was. Leah did that part?
Yeah. She did a great job.
Ooh.
It was good.
Yeah, I was silenced.
So you could have been Beyonce?
No, I could have been something. I mean, nothing against Beyonce, but something a little more sophisticated. I'm sorry.
Taken aback by that.
I'm
The
sorry.
epitome of sophistication. What are you talking about?
Well, no.
Beyonce?
Bootylicious? Come on. I was never.
Now she's in her 40s.
Yeah, no, but still, no. Like nothing against.
Okay, so you would have been like Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston
like that
before.
Like no dance, like Mariah Carey. No dance, just stand the same.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Because I already talked about my rhythmless nation is what I was called. The lack of coordination. I couldn't. There was no. I can't even do like a top and a bottom at the same time dance moves. So I certainly.
Why did I go sexual? I was like, wait, what's top and bottom?
Maybe she.
I usually go sexual, but I wasn't. I mean, like dance moves.
Oh, you mean you can't move your top and your bottom?
Like I can like do
What is that?
When you have to move, when you have to, something
just
that
think it's
requires you to move your upper body and
What
your
dance
Is
lower
that a
body.
body roll?
Isn't
You
that
talking about
like-
dance in the 90s, like, it takes two to make a thing up, and you'd be like, everything,
Yeah,
like
just
the Roger
all-
Rabbit. That's what you mean.
Oh yeah, the Roger Rabbit.
So you
Never.
couldn't do that?
I couldn't do. No, I couldn't.
Oh, what did you do at school dances?
Who said I? Who said I participated in school dances? I was holding up the wall.
Oh.
Or, no, don't feel bad for me. I didn't. I didn't feel bad. I knew how to do the freak.
Oh, yeah.
All you gotta do is squat.
She
Squat,
Out.
move from side to side.
squat.
Or bend over and listen.
Oh.
No, I didn't. That's
Oh,
my
Freak
other
Me
problem.
came out. Did you guys watch it?
I haven't seen it.
I gotta
yet.
see it. I heard it's not as salacious as
It's not.
that they were acting.
Oh no.
They hyped it up to be something that it wasn't gonna
Well,
be.
I think-
well, the social media did.
I
side
think,
of it.
when people started hearing that they were going to make a documentary, about
Yeah.
it, they was like, "Oh yeah, don't show me Sue." Or,
Yeah,
Oh,
but it
so
wasn't
people
like
start
that.
pulling
That's
out.
not their
not
intention.
necessarily pulling out, but just making sure that their likeness was not shown.
But that wasn't their
Oh.
intention for the documentary. It wasn't to expose people. It was to show the celebration of
Yeah, but
black people
If you've
and
ever been
why it
there or
started.
seen it,
Street.
there's really no way to not be
Show that side of it.
exposed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's just out there.
It's called Freaknik.
Yeah, you're just
Right.
out there in the street. It's a literal.
But wasn't there
It's like
music?
free
There was
for
no.
all.
There was no like Coachella-ish part of it. They didn't go to
Yeah,
watch
some-
performers.
There was in the streets.
Oh, I thought
There
they
were street
went
performers.
to
But
watch
there
performers.
were
No.
some events and clubs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, it was a party in the street, like you were out in the world outside. You were outside.
Being free.
Yeah, you're
And
outside
freaky.
on top of the car,
What
in the
freaky
street,
deaky.
on the highway.
Yeah.
I didn't get to experience that.
Yeah.
I was there.
Where were you?
I was.
I wasn't.
But I
think
wasn't
that was
being,
before
I wasn't
my
being freaky.
time.
I wasn't.
What year were you there?
Probably that year. 94. But by that time, that's when it was just so congested that we could barely even get through. Like it was so
Oh, right before they closed it down.
crowded.
Well, it was shutting down kind of like around 96, 97. It was kind of dwindling, like, it was
Oh,
kind of
okay.
over.
All right.
Yeah. No.
What's your
I'm
favorite 80s toy? Do you
Toy?
remember? Do you remember your
Cabbage
toy?
Patch.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was my favorite. And Strawberry Shortcake.
I used to like my Cabbage Patch till I thought that she was possessed. You remember
Who
that?
told you that?
What?
You guys remember those Cabbage Patch dolls being possessed?
No,
What?
I remember the lines
Yeah.
and my mom picking me up from the YMCA with the Cabbage Patch, and I ran to her. I was like, "Oh my God, you got me!"
But you know, they
I
were
wish I still
cute.
had mine.
They were super
They
cute.
were so cute. I had everything. I had all the accessories.
The
and
little black one, the bald baby one.
I wish I still had
Ooh,
mine.
Those baby doll faces was not
So cute.
Were you a doll person?
I had dolls. I mostly had Barbies though, but Cabbage Patch,
Oh, I love
she
the
wasn't
Cabbage
like
Patch.
cute like. No, she wasn't cute like
I
that.
don't remember. I think it was like Aubrey or something.
That was yours, the name?
think so.
Aubrey?
I think
Aubrey.
mine was like Clara something because I remember she had the same name as my grandmother, Mabel Claire. So I remember her name was Clara.
I remember my name. Darn, but I loved her.
Yeah, no, I
I
didn't love her.
did.
I threw her in a closet once they started talking about them being possessed.
Wait, where'd they
Who
come
started
from?
talking about
I
that?
don't remember. I don't remember. It just started to be in a rumor or something around because of course we didn't have social media. But
He
you
was
know,
like,
do
"Satan,
you
get behind
remember?
me."
You guys don't remember that
Or
when they
rebuke
were
you
talking
in the
about
name of Jesus.
Smurf dolls being possessed?
No.
and
Was that
stuff?
just at church? Maybe.
No.
I didn't hear that at all.
I
Yeah.
didn't either.
Yeah. Look it up.
Okay.
It's a for real. Thing.
Why
Put it
can't I
in the rumor.
imagine you like a little Camila throwing in the
Why?
closet
I
like,
was like, mm-mm.
bye.
threw that thing
Like
in
you
the
about to do your dog next to dog is about to.
Oh.
On that note, we gonna end this episode. Listeners, let us know your favorite 80s memory. Oh, I got on my 80s flash dance little sweatshirt too for our little 80s episode. All right, you guys, we'll catch you on the next episode. Make sure to catch us on YouTube and tell a friend. Wasn't that the slogan for Alpha Beta? Tell a friend.
I don't know.
Peace.
Bye.